Well, today we have a real treat. It's just a beautiful fall day and we've come into a wonderful area of Oklahoma. We're over here kind of southwest of Bartlesville at Woolaroc, and we're visiting with Jeff Allen, and he's the landscape manager here at Woolaroc. Thank you so much for inviting us over, Jeff.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad you could make it.
Now this is a definite area of just some natural beauty here, but you've also been working at improving the landscape here around the museum, haven't you?
Yes, slowly been starting to make some improvements, and one of the first big projects we did was this area here, which was started as a memorial garden where we planted several trees, and then we've underplanted it with a bunch of grasses and prairie forbs, predominantly native species, but not exclusively native.
So, well, you've got a nice mix here. Now, we're kind of at the end of the season here for the forbs, but what are some of them that you've used in this prairie-type garden?
Okay, I have a lot of some of the coneflower, some purple coneflower, several varieties of penstemon, which is the beard tongue.
Right.
Have some gay feathers, the laetris. I think there's a total of 4 different varieties of it in the garden, and it's nice because it blooms different time of the year, each variety. Some rudbeckias, sunflower.
And I noticed you got the gaillardia.
Yeah, and of course the gaillardia, which is a state wildflower.
So, well, that's really nice, but kind of the forte and the best thing this time is the grass in this garden. It's just gorgeous right now.
Yeah, all the grasses I have planted in this garden are fall blooming, and so they're really reaching their peak right now.
So, well, maybe we could look at some of these, because it's a really nice time to showcase them.
Okay, right here next to us is this little blue stem, which is very common out in the prairies in this area. These are actual named varieties that have been selected for different attributes. The one here next to the rock is called Blaze, and it was selected mainly for its fall and winter color. It has a deeper, richer kind of that rust color. The one up here in front is called the Blues, and it was selected for its the dark blue-gray foliage as it's growing and just beginning to send up the shoots before it starts flowering.
Well, it even has a blue cast to it now as compared to Blaze.
Yeah.
So that's pretty. And those are both, I guess, started out native. These are selections of native.
Yeah, these is, in the native populations you have a wide variety of variation as things come up from seed, and these have been selected and propagated vegetatively to carry on those certain attributes.
Those are very nice.
This next grass here is the big blue stem.
Oh, that's so pretty.
It also has a bit of a blue-gray color. This one was named Pastel Blue, and you can see how much bigger it is than the little blue stem, and in the wild this will get as much as even 7 foot tall.
Golly.
So this one, since this is just a year old, it's not real tall, but next year I imagine it'll be at least a foot taller.
So, now you've got some other grasses here that aren't necessarily native to this area, but they are kind of a prairie type grass.
Yes, we have the Lindheimer muley, which is more maybe extreme southwest Oklahoma, but as you get into Texas and New Mexico, it's more common.
Okay.
And has a real nice flower spike on it now, and these have just started flowering, and the spikes will get fatter and longer, and then the seed head is a nice tight light tan color that will stay looking good all winter.
So, now I noticed here this garden you just planted it this year, is that right?
That's right.
And things look fairly spaced apart right now.
Yeah, that's one thing. It was real hard when I planted these plants in the spring. They were just like 8 inches tall in a 1 gallon pot, and making myself give them enough space, you know, keeping in mind their mature size.
Right.
Wanted to maintain that arching, graceful effect of them, and if I'd planted them close together, they'd be holding each other up.
So that's important when you're doing ornamental grasses, to be sure and give them enough room so that you can still see their forms. So now this one's very pretty here. This is nice.
Now this is Indian grass. This is another prairie grass that's very common in this area. This is a selected variety, again selected for its the blue-gray color of its foliage. and it's just now flowering, so it has a nice bright, even yellow tint to the heads right now, but those will be a light tan later in the winter, but will persist throughout the winter.
Very nice. Now, oh, and this is one of my favorites. We grew some of this at the studio gardens, but it just makes you want to pet it.
Yes. Yeah, I really like this, and I really like not just the softness of it, but also that bright color gives some nice contrast with the other grasses. This is the Stipa, common name for it is ponytails.
Oh,
and these were small plants when I planted them this spring. Their mature height will be about twice this tall by this time next year.
And this one, though, this just caught my eye from across. This is the best ornamental grass I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of this in the area being used ornamentally. I came across it in the botanical gardens in Tucson, and really liked it. Then it was in the wintertime, so it was just a light tan color. So this is my first chance to see it blooming in such its full glory like this. This has been showing this color for a good 2 weeks, and I would say it's got at least another 1, maybe 2 weeks before it begins to fade and take on its winter color.
And again, and the name, this is another of the muleys, right?
Yeah, this is another muley. This is commonly called purple muley.
I can see why. That is pretty. So, kind of looks like cotton candy.
Yeah, it's just like a real mist. It's really pretty early in the mornings when the dew's still on it and the sun's hitting it from an angle. It really shines down.
Now, what zone is this hardy to?
These have been rated zone 7, and we're actually getting into 6 up here. But with all the rock outcroppings and stuff we have in this area, I have a lot of zone, like microclimates that are a little warmer, and I've found a lot of things I can push the zone on it a little bit.
So, now you've got a few more grasses here tucked in.
Yeah, I have a real short, that's purple love grass that's already flowered and gone to seed, so it's taken on its winter color already. And also a purple threon here, which is also, it's still actually flowering a little bit and showing some purple color, as well as the dried seed heads.
Now the dried seed heads are pretty, and will those pretty much persist all winter?
Yes, I believe they will. This is the first year I've grown this grass, and the one thing, if we have a heavy snow or ice, some of them may be flattened down a little bit, but a lot of the grasses will even bounce back up even though they're dormant.
So, yeah. You've got another one over here that's really...
Yeah, this is another love grass. This variety is called Mason Sandhill, much more upright and bigger seed heads to them, not as fine of a mist as the other love grasses, but it's very nice for its upright, slightly more formal look. This
one, it catches the light really well with those larger seed heads.
Yes, it does.
It's pretty. And we're walking on here, I love how you've used the buffalo grass.
Yes, yeah, this is the buffalo grass, which in isolated spots in this area you'll find some growing wild. It's more common north and west, and it actually likes clay soil as opposed to sandy soil, which we tend to have more of in this area. But it's very drought tolerant, and it gets its drought tolerance from its root system. In its naturally occurring areas, it'll send roots down 20 feet or more.
Wow.
Even though this is the mature height of this grass, this has not been mowed all summer. And so it's only like 6 or 8 inches is as tall as it gets.
I think that's a good thing for people to come and see, because sometimes people want to plant buffalo grass and maintain it short like a lawn, but it kind of needs to be a meadow type setting, and it won't get too awfully tall even when you don't mow it.
Right. We'll just mow this probably once a year to knock back the dead stuff in the early spring, and then just let it go for the rest of the year. And it's great. It's a nice soft effect.
It's very pretty. Well, you've done a wonderful job with this garden, Jeff, and it'll be fun to come back and see what else you're going to be doing here.
Yeah, it'd be great to have you back.
We hope you've enjoyed this classic from the Oklahoma Gardening Vault. Remember, even though these tips and techniques are timeless, there's always something new to learn in the world of gardening. By subscribing to both Oklahoma Gardening and OK Gardening Classics, you'll have access to a wealth of gardening knowledge, both classic and contemporary.